So you say the thing. You're clear, calm, and direct. The conversation ends. Hours later, your brain won't let it go. You replay every sentence. You're looking for damage. Not because you're insecure, but because your nervous system is still threat checking. And until you understand that mechanism, you'll keep calling it overthinking when it's actually physiology. Hey, I'm Adam. I work with high-achieving leaders who built their competence in volatility and now feel disoriented in stability. If you can handle the moment cleanly but pay for it afterward, subscribe. This channel is about calibration, not motivation. Let's see what's happening. Most people think replaying conversations means you're anxious, but watch the pattern in the next 24 hours. You're going to send a message. You give the feedback. You set the boundary. Nothing goes wrong, and then your mind starts auditing. Here's what that looks like in real life. It's 11:47 p.m. You're not thinking about the conversation. You're rewriting one sentence. Again, you're staring at a phrase, just wanted to clarify, and you can feel it. You don't even want to send it. You want the feeling to stop. So you reread the thread, you replay the tone, you imagine how it sounded, and you draft a follow-up you don't really need. This isn't overthinking. That's threat verification. Your system is checking, did I just create a problem I can't see yet? And this is what I like to call post-threat withdrawal. You were activated during the interaction, even if you looked calm on the outside. And afterward, your nervous system keeps scanning because consequences used to be delayed. Here's the structural reason this happens. A lot of high performers learned early that fine isn't stable. Fine is the moment right before something shifts. So, you developed a skill set that looks like maturity but functions like prediction. You read the tone, you watch the micro reactions, you manage the temperature in the room. You don't just communicate, you monitor. That monitoring is adaptive. It also is expensive. So when you finally speak cleanly, direct, measured, honest, your body treats it like risk, even if the conversation goes well, because your nervous system learned rupture can be delayed. Within 24 hours, notice this, you feel more settled during the conversation than after it. That's the tell. During the conversation, you're in a familiar mood, management. After the conversation, you're in uncertainty, waiting. And waiting is where your nervous system doesn't trust. Now we escalate. If every honest conversation costs you hours of replay, you start rationing clarity. Not intentionally, structurally. You delay feedback because you don't want the aftermath. You soften your language to reduce internal threat. You over-contextualize. You over-complain. You send the polite version even when the clean version was better, and then you still spiral afterward. That pattern has a leadership cost. Your influence bandwidth shrinks because leadership requires frequent, clean clarity. And if clean clarity triggers post-threat withdrawal, you will unconsciously reduce it. This is how capable leaders become nice instead of direct. Not because they lack courage, but because their nervous system bills them after every act of honesty. Second order consequence. If your stimulus calibrated, meaning you access sharpness under pressure, then you'll feel the most competent during the high stakes moment and least competent after it. So you misread the downshift as regret, when it's often just physiology coming down from activation. This is not a personality problem. It's a calibration problem. If you keep treating calibration as psychology, you'll keep chasing explanations. And what you actually need is regulation capacity after expression. Here's the common mistake high-functioning people make. They try to get rid of the discomfort by repairing the room. So after you say something honest, you send the follow-up, you add extra context, or soften the boundary, or make a joke, or Offer reassurance. Explain your tone, not because the other person demanded it, but because your nervous system demanded it. Within 24 hours, catch yourself doing this. You clean up conversations that were already clean. That repair behavior isn't kindness. It's a nervous system strategy to restore certainty. But it backfires because every time you repair unnecessarily, you teach your body that honesty causes damage and repair is required. So the next time you speak clearly, your system anticipates the repair phase, which increases the post-threat crash. If you want the replay loop to shrink, you stop rewarding it with corrective behavior. Regulation-calibrated leaders have one major advantage. They can tolerate the physiological aftermath without obeying it. They don't interpret the post-conversation drop as evidence of failure. They interpret it as a downshift. Stimulus-calibrated leaders feel sharp in activation and uncertain in calm. Calibrated leaders feel oriented in both. That's why they can give feedback without spiraling or set boundaries without backtracking. They can speak cleanly without making it better afterward. And because they don't need urgency to access clarity, they don't inject instability into the system. This is why regulation is a scaling skill, not a wellness practice. Here's the experiment. The next time that you speak honestly, cleanly, calm, direct, after the conversation, do nothing. And I don't mean try to relax in a constraint. No following up for 90 minutes. No second email, no reassurance message, no apology for tone, no extra context, no second email to smooth it all out. Just 90 minutes of non-intervention. And here's the line that matters. If it's truly urgent, it will still be urgent in 90 minutes. Your body will protest. Good. That protest is post-threat withdrawal. Let it ride. Let it fall. If you keep repairing, you reinforce the loop. If you stop repairing, you allow reality to teach your system nothing broke. And over time, the replay loses its job. If your honesty costs you hours of recovery, you will unconsciously reduce honesty. Reduced honesty produces quiet misalignment. Misalignment becomes drift, and drift becomes the cultural fragility. This is why the cost isn't just personal, it's organizational. High-level leadership requires clarity that doesn't require collapse afterward. When your nervous system can't shift cleanly after the truth, honesty becomes procedural, and procedural honesty is power. Listen, if you want to keep working with me in between now and the next video, start by clicking right here for the video that I picked just for you to just begin to check this out and learn more about what's going on inside your head. If you want help applying this inside your leadership or organization, you can check the description for advisory details. My work focuses on recalibrating activation patterns that limit sustainable scale, whether you're leading a team, a company, or navigating the high-stakes regulation that supports external performance. You're not replaying because you're insecure. You're replaying because your system is still threat checking. That's not a flaw. It's training. Now, go get some peace.